Hello there. We're going to talk about translations today. A translation is something that moves every point of a figure the same distance in the same direction. So if we take a look at this figure in the middle for a second, this little bubble up here is telling us a rule for this translation to go from triangle ABC to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. We see it says x plus 4 and then y plus 1. So whatever the horizontal movement is here will be added or subtracted with the x. So since it's x plus 4, that's taking it right 4. And since it's y plus 1, adding or subtracting something from y is going to give us the vertical up and down movement. So this would be up 1. So if you just pick a point on triangle ABC and follow it to the image, this is what we call the pre-image, what we start with, and then whatever we end up with is called the image. So for example, if I start with point A, if I move it 1, 2, 3, 4 units to the right and 1 unit up, there's A prime. It looks like a little tick mark. We just say prime. These 2 points correspond together. Point A is the original pre-image point. Point A prime has been moved right 4 up 1. So now that's the new image. Same thing for point B. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1 up. There's B prime. Same thing for C. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, 1 up. There's C prime. Down below here then, it starts talking about something called a vector. A vector is a segment that shows definite direction. So for example, this right here, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's an arrow here pointing from D to E. And so as it says in the box here, DE moves so many units right and so many units up to get from point D to E. So we always count the horizontal movement before the vertical movement. To get from point D to E, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 1 up. So vector DE moves 4 units right and 1 unit up. And the way we write that in its component form looks like this. It almost looks like parentheses in an ordered pair, but these are actually kind of like a greater than and a less than symbol. They have a little point to them. And so this is a little bit different. This is how we write a vector in component form. And so DE starts at point D and goes to point E, has a definite direction if it's a vector. So off to the side here, the examples we have, it's a little bit hard to see, but on this one we have point G and point F, and the arrow is pointing from F to G. So our horizontal movement to get from F to G, we're going left 2 units and up 2 units. So its component form, left would be -2, up would be +2. The next example has the points I and H, and the arrow is going from H to I. So to get from H to I, we're going left 2 units, but we're not having any up or down movement at all. So the component form for this vector would be -2, 0. For RJ, very similar. This point is R, this point is J. The arrow is pointing from J to R. We're going left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to get from one point to the other, but we're not going up or down. So its component form would be -5, 0. And the last one, here we have point L and point M, and the arrow is pointing from L to M. So horizontally, to get from L to M, we're going right 1, and then vertically 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4. So right 1, down 4 in component form would be +1, -4. Okay, then if we move to this middle box here, it says graph quadrilateral ABCD with vertices that are given, and then its image after the given translation. So point A is at 1, -2. Point B is at 2, 1. Point C is at 4, 1. And point D is at 4, -2. So here's our four-sided quadrilateral. And we're supposed to produce its image after this translation. Since it's x minus 1, that's taking every point left 1, and y plus 4 would go up 4. So if I start with A, left 1, up 4, this would be A prime. B, left 1, up 4, there's B prime. C, left 1, up 4. D, left 1, up 4. So here is the new image, A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Last little bit off to the side here. In this example, the vertices of triangle ABC are given, and it says translate triangle ABC using the vector -1, -2. So in this component form, the -1 in the first position tells me to take everything left 1, and the -2 in the second position takes it down 2. But since I don't have a graph to work with, I'm literally just working with the coordinates. For example, for A, I'm going to take 0, -1, which is -1, and 3, -2, which is +1. So A prime would be at -1, 1. B is at 2, 4, so 2 minus 1 is 1, 4 minus 2 is 2, so that would be B prime. And then for C, the coordinates are 1, 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, and 0 minus 2 is -2. So those would be the new coordinates for the image. And the last piece down in the bottom right-hand corner says write a rule for the translation of triangle ABC to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. If you can't tell, the primes are over here. So this is the pre-image and this is the image here. So if we just take a look, let's say from A to A prime, we're going 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1 up. So as a rule, when you write it like a rule, instead of just component form, it looks like this. So x, it would be x minus 3 because we're going 3 left, and it would be y plus 1 because we're going up 1. Okay, so the last piece that I want to remind you of, whenever you're doing a translation, you're simply taking the original pre-image and shifting it around, up, down, left, right, whatever it may be. But it's important to realize that the pre-image and the image are the same size and shape. They are congruent. We are not changing anything about the figure. We are simply picking it up and moving it around.